Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So we do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play it as karmic themes to help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is, why you're attracting that person, and what are the spiritual elements that could be shifted so that you could actually either avoid negative karmic consequences, shape shift the relationship to a relationship that is actually balanced, if that's possible, or to see whether or not, it's completely not possible and what can you do to cut that energy off? There's a lot of different ways a situation can play out because it depends on what we do. So the awareness and the readings allows you to navigate your situation properly, but you're the alchemist of your life. You're actually have to apply the information to your life in order to get the good result that you want, right? Or at least a better result. Sometimes you can't get a good result if you're dealing with someone completely toxic. All right. Anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box. It's that time of year, people. The time to go Christmas shopping, Hanukkah shopping, Kwanzaa shopping, and every other shopping. So if there's a gift that you need, check out Otter Spirit bracelets. I got my money bracelets in, my abundance bracelets in. Woo! These are just some. I can show you. I love these. And I love the jade, but the jade doesn't do like, I mean, you're not going to see it on the green screen because the jade are so green. You can't, sometimes I can get it, but I'm going to have the videos up. They're so pretty. And what you have is citrine, you have jade, you have pyrite, you have tiger's eye, you have yellow agate. I mean, you have every single type, like green avitrine. We have every single type of bracelet to create abundance, to create prosperity. So these were the ones that I just ordered because we always talk about love. And really, any type of abundance, if your vibration is high and you're going to attract abundance, well, you're going to attract love also. And the reason why is because when you are in alignment with prosperity, you're in alignment with loving yourself, being true to yourself, having an open heart. The green, which you can't see too bad because of the green screen, but like I said, I will post them, opens up your heart. The tiger's eye and the pyrite are really grounding protective stones. The the citrine is for your solar plexus. Remember, only in the now do you get divine guidance. If you are not grounded, which the pyrite does, and the citrine opens up your solar plexus, then your third eye it is going to be more opened. We have bracelets for third eye as well, but I'm not promoting those as well. I'm promoting these because they're the money, prosperity, good fortune. I got all of them. Like I said, if there was a stone that was going to be for prosperity, money, abundance, I wanted them. I didn't really want to focus on love and relationship because we always do. But as I said, if your vibration is high and you are in alignment with what you need to do in order to be a magnet for money, well, then chances are you're not going to be in a low vibration to be with a person that doesn't respect you or honor you. It just goes against it. And you always notice that some people, however, if they put all their energy and all their time into working and focusing on making money, a lot of times their relationships fail. You see that a lot of times with big CEOs and people really big into business, and it's because they don't feed the connection enough emotionally. Usually on this channel, we don't have people that emotionally are cut off. We have people that are not receiving the emotional support that they need. They attract people that don't show up for them. And one of the reasons why, as I said, is because you need to raise your vibration. And the way to do that is not to focus more on relationships, it's to focus more on you, and it's to pour more into you, which is why I wanted the abundance bracelets and I wanted the prosperity bracelets, because it's a season for healing. It's a season that's healing all about you. And by pouring into you, when you fill your cup up all the way, then you will be a perfect magnet for unconditional love because you've attracted that love. And then you need to make sure that you balance your relationships enough with the emotional support as you do, for anything else that you're looking to grow. You can't starve a connection. See, Virgos usually don't have that problem when it comes to starving anything. What happens is they attract people that don't treat them as well because people see them as the nurturer, the giver, the healer, where a lot of times we need to heal aspects of ourselves. And that's going to be within different areas of our life. Once you do that, you don't have a problem attracting someone that's going to honor you, that's going to love you, because you showed them how to do that by how you treated yourself, by how much time you gave them. And it's again because you were pouring into yourself, making things happen for yourself. And that is very sexy, that's very attractive, that's very, you know, um tantalizing when a person like is in their full blown emperor or empress energy. It's attractive because most people aren't in that energy. We meet people that are pages, we meet people that are knights, we meet people that are even queens of swords and queens of wands that have the potential, but not until we're really in the emperor or emperor stage are we in alignment with our true capabilities, and understand not all the time are we tapping into the emotion. Sometimes we really have to tap in strategically. The difference is that it's always balanced. It's always balanced. The situation, it doesn't mean that we never have, empathy or sensitivity. What it means is sometimes we have to let our emotions take a back seat to what we really see and what we really know. All right. So anything of any importance aside from the Otter Spirit link, but you will get 15% off if you order those bracelets. And also, I have a lot of products. So if you know anyone that is looking to heal, give them the gift of healing. I do offer gift certificates as well. Give the gift of healing to yourself. Give the gift of healing to a friend. It's a great gift. It's one that will last with them forever because they'll always use it. All right. And meaning the knowledge that they gain from the reading or from the oracle system or from the books. You know, there's a lot of things that people can use. All right. Now let's just pick one. Cycle of life is one. Well, it felt something right away. As soon as I pulled that card out, it was like, well, how you see it is the cycle is over between you and someone else. And I knew that. And the reason why is because this person like left and never came back. There was never an explanation. So it's not really what they did, it's how they did it because you don't really know what they did. So you're like, either way, whatever they did, it could have been something like there could have been an emergency. Um, doesn't matter that they didn't have the common decency to pick up the phone. They didn't have the common decency to give me the respect. They just ghosted. They just left. And so what happened is that you starved the relationship because this person was being stubborn. They thought you were going to come back and try and fix it when meanwhile they didn't show you any emotion at all. They acted like they didn't care. So you're like, well, you didn't give me anything to work with. You just ghosted me. You just disappeared. This person's limited when it comes to how healed they are and like how emotionally and intelligent they are. They didn't have a lot to work with. They have to ask other people what they should do is what this looks like because they don't have ideas of their own. And really, it's like and also for some, it's they have limited resources. They might have said that they had a lot more than they actually did. And so if you got close to them, you would have seen that. But I feel like this person's not strong within themselves. And being that they're not strong within themselves, they ask people their opinions and they tend to look at everything from a glass is half empty standpoint. So I don't have enough money. I don't have enough um, time. And then if you asked them about it, they were just like self-righteous about it. They didn't really want to be asked about it. See, this person tried to create a lot of confusion because they're not strong within themselves. Meaning that it's like, I don't make enough money. This is this person. I don't make enough money. I didn't say who I truly am. My situation is not good. So they were trying to make themselves more important than they actually were by creating illusions, hoping that you would fight for the connection or hoping that you would chase after them or do something. And what you did was you starved the connection. You were like, you knew exactly what they wanted and you didn't do it, and that's the thing. It's like you got tired of the one-sided connection. And you also were like, you knew that this person was checking on you from afar. So they were stalking you, their energy was still connected to you, but they didn't give you any attention or time or nurture the connection. So this person was like a stalker. They were trying to, you know, see what was going on, and I think that this person misread what they saw on Facebook or Instagram or just what, if they don't have social media, what they heard or what they perceived about you. They thought you were someone else. They thought you were going to be devastated. They thought that you were going to be crawled up in a tiny little ball crying. And that's the thing, they checked on you from afar, and because you didn't really react, this person thought, oh, look, you're sad. You don't know what to say. You don't want to yell at me because you still want the door to be open, where that wasn't it at all. You just detached. So this person was used to dealing with really toxic people and was assuming you were going to react the way that everybody else reacts. And the truth of the matter is because you didn't really do that, you didn't give them anything, and now they're looking at you differently because now they're understanding that this isn't a game and they're actually intimidated by you because what it is you're like, if you don't say anything to me, you don't give me anything, you don't tell me anything, it doesn't matter what's going on in my life, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. The time, so much time has passed because the person hasn't given the relationship and they just assume that you would give. And the truth of the matter is, it was a one-sided relationship where this person gave into temptation. That card fell out, so we had to take it. And that's the thing. They wish they could take it back, but they know that they can't. You're always on their mind, and I feel like that's because of the guilt and this person just undermined the relationship. They can still feel you, but there are financial problems with this person, which I said earlier. So this person would have to really allow you into their life, be transparent, and do everything that they didn't do with you the first time around. And some of you for the first, second, third, because you've been in a cycle with this person for a while. It's the end of a cycle. I feel like you ran through this cycle a few times, and you just got tired of it. You're like, you act like you don't care. You don't give anything. You act superior, like you're self-righteous, and you act like you don't care. So why am I even going to give you anything? And then on top of it, you gave in to temptation. So instead of being there for me, this is you, Virgo, you went with somebody else. And where is that somebody else today? Obviously not around. So now what it is that this person is seeing, well, like, yeah, maybe I could be with you, but it's like they damaged the relationship. And that's the problem. This person's going to say that they feel so much love for you, but I feel like they're obsessed because they're up at night thinking of you and thinking about you all the time. You're always on their mind, and it's because how they treated you. I have lost faith in you and cannot see a future with you anymore, and that's how you feel. Because again, of all the confusion, unnecessary confusion you know, this person has regrets that keep them from moving forward with you. And really, this is why you've lost faith in them. This person for a while acted like they lost faith in you and they moved forward, and that's the problem. They should have never waited for you to come back to them. They didn't want to come back to you because they gave in to temptation. They know that you know, and they're like, well, you're going to bring that up, and I don't really want you to bring it up. Yeah, it's like it's already done. This person tried to control the situation, but it created more blockages in the connection because they gave in to temptation and they know it. And they also know that you're going to say no and they don't want you to say no. So they hold back from you because they're confused that they don't know how to deal with the situation, is what I see here. They want you to say yes, but they shattered the connection, and that's the issue. They smile on the outside, but they're dying inside. So they don't show their emotions still because, hey, they don't know whether or not, but they did this to themselves. They thought that the grass was going to be greener somewhere else. They abandoned you. And then instead of coming back to you, they gave into temptation. So what made this person run from you? Is what I want to know. It's like what happened? Because what is, that all of a sudden this person ghosted you. They never came back. They never fixed the connection. They never apologized. They never did anything. They just act like they don't really care, but really they do care, which makes no sense at all. It's like it's almost like this person. Well, they love drama. They love drama and they love to create like an intense thing. So this person came into your life like a whirlwind. They came in like love bombing you, like nurturing you, they really put in the effort to make it like they wanted a relationship with you, that they wanted to move forward with you. They future faked with you, only for them to ghost. Makes no sense. It's like, well, the problem is that this person didn't want to miss their chance with you. So I feel like they had a very strong connection. They just never wanted that intimacy. So what they tried to do was keep their foot in the door, so that you wouldn't move forward. But the problem is this person has a lot of love blocks, and really you needed to look beyond the romance just to discern the truth. This person um created the illusions by not going deep, but gave you just enough, right? Just enough so that you would give them the time. And that's what it was. It's like, I feel like they were giving you just enough, but it wasn't enough. And what you saw were the love blocks. And they were trying to make you only see the love and the romance, only have that physical connection, like only offering you passion is what I see here. And the thing is, you wanted more. This person wasn't capable of giving more. So they abandoned you and figured they could either come back when they felt like coming back or that you were going to chase after them, one or the other. You didn't do either one. And this person gave into temptation. They starved the connection. Now they don't know how to fix what they did. And you're like, I don't want to be with you. That's the thing. This person wanted you, like, again, that falling too deep, head over heels. Like, this is the way this person navigates. They run in, love bomb, it's very shallow. There's no depth to the relationship and just want you to fall head over heels. They can't do that. They can't just pop up now. They can't just show up and be like, hey, because they damaged this connection. It's shattered. And it's because of them and they know it. But they don't want the relationship to end. They don't know. And there's still a part of them that's like, even though I know that I completely destroyed this connection, maybe. And that's because this person's a player and they're freaking cocky. So they don't have a reason to be cocky. Again, broken. They're broken. And the thing is, the whole time that you were with them, also, that what they don't realize or that they were around you, they made a lot of promises that they never made good on, and that was the thing. This person wanted to like have your heart, but they didn't have your spirit. And that's the thing. At one point, you thought that this person was a soulmate. And what happened is what you saw was, you know, they broke your heart, but not your spirit. And that's the thing. So you were able to heal because you didn't run into this. You didn't, once they made the promises and they didn't follow through, you weren't like, oh, didn't you say we were going to go to dinner? Didn't you say we were going to do this? Like what? Like you just went silent because they went silent. They ghosted. They didn't really want this type of a connection. They only wanted the passion part again, and this person just gets tempted and they navigate their life like that, where they, get into a relationship and then they get tempted by someone else or someone else, they abandon that, but they're always able to come back to the people. This time they weren't able to, and that's just the issue. For a long time, you wanted to opt out of this relationship because the relationship was too rocky. And you just were like, there's just like too much healing that this person needs to do because they're always in their dark side. Like they're fragmented, is what you know. You know that they're fragmented because you know that they had feelings for you, and it's not that it didn't crush you, it did crush you, but you refuse to stick around and act like you're a conquest, like you're an option, which is how this person acted because they wanted you to react. But the truth of the matter is, they treat everybody like a conquest. So let's see why all of a sudden the change of heart. Why is this person sad? Are they sad for the right reasons? Are they sad for the wrong reasons? Let's see. We're going to pull from 3 different decks. Let's see, because sometimes it's just the fact that you're not there and they don't have control anymore. And they didn't break you, right? They might have broke your heart, but they didn't break your spirit. And so the thing is, this person usually gets into relationships, and I feel like they break people's hearts and spirits. So the fact that, you moved on, you didn't chase after them, you just went silent after their abandonment, after that, already that they were with someone. They need someone to help get over you. They can't, that's the problem. The problem is that they can't stop thinking about you. They can't stop thinking about what they did. And they really don't want to apologize to you because they really don't want to change the way that they navigate their relationships. This works for them. So what they are going to do is like, well, I tried to meet somebody else to actually get over you, and I want this and and that's what they know. Otherwise, they've become too emotional, and this person doesn't like that. You know, I hope that you can move on and find love again. And the reason why is because there's someone else that they still have feelings for. Sorry. It's like, so this person like still had feelings for somebody else, but they weren't treating that person very nice. Now, that could be the person that they had that they gave into temptation for, and it also could be for like whoever else was in their life. This person, like I said, they they weren't ready for love, and that they're sorry. It's like but you have past life issues that you both need to work on. That's more like spirit is saying. So that's the thing. This person knows that they destroyed the relationship and they can't really fix it because they still have feelings for you to the point that they have to be with someone to get over you instead of come back and apologize, instead do anything. And the reason why is because there was either someone in the background that they were with to begin with that they're like, I have feelings for, and I was never really going to leave that person, or they gave into temptation and they wound up getting feelings for that person, and they're like, I have feelings for this person, and the type of relationship that you want and the type of relationship that they're in with that person works better for them because the love that you want is they're not willing to give that. And you can see that they're not on the same vibration as you. So that's the best that we can do. It's not that they don't have like feelings, but they know is it's like it's going to take too much to fix this connection, and I would have to give too much and sacrifice too much to actually fix it. And this person has a problem with that because then it's like you have the upper hand. So that's the thing. You won't take this person back. First of all, a lot of you won't, no matter what this person does. And others of you would take this person back if they came in showing you different habits, behaviors, if they treated you differently, and if they poured into the connection the way that they should have the first time around. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. It's like they don't even want to do that for themselves. You know, they say that they have feelings for somebody else, but they weren't treating that person very well either. So it's a case where they can be with somebody and do whatever the hell that they want to do. Or, like I said, they met that person and they had more of a connection with that person that they had a fling with, you know, that they gave into temptation. Now they have like feelings, and it's because, hey, listen, that person vibes at the same level that they do. They're not required to do that much for that person. So, and you and this person have too many past life issues that you both need to work on. So, this is a past life connection, which is why there was chemistry, which is why this person didn't want to miss their chance to be with you, but didn't really want to give anything. He kept their foot in the door. So, you know, we have to say the best thing that we could do is say, why did you attract this person into your life? You're a mirror of who and what comes in to your life, right? That's what it is. You're a mirror of who and what comes into your life, and you're like, why the fuck would I get a person like that for? Whoops, okay. We look and we see the first card out is, well, can't pick it up, is actually trauma. All right, second card's out that fell out is joy. Opposite, okay. Third card out is shame, self-sabotage, nurturance. How many is that? One, two, three, four, five. I'm only going to take one more, and that's neglect. So a lot of them fell out. And I always take the ones that fell out because I feel like those are the ones that spirit chooses. Um, so we see, if you grew up in an environment where you were neglected and didn't get nurtured and was talked to as if you were bad, unfortunately, what comes from that is self-sabotaging behavior because you don't believe or you didn't believe you were deserving of joy. Now, that doesn't mean that you like consciously were like, I'm not gonna like have joy. I don't believe in joy. But if you grew up in an environment where it was always your turn, right? It was your turn. It was your birthday, and your birthday gets ignored. And it was your turn, like it was your turn to be sent to college, and your parents were like, well, you're not really that smart. We're going to skip over you. Or if it was your turn to, be acknowledged for something that you did and it just got ignored or downplayed, well, then after a while, you believe that you're not deserving of joy. You're not deserving to be happy because you had a person in your environment that was always setting that up because they were a narcissist, somebody that doesn't nurture and neglects their child, that shames their child just for being a child, right? Because that parent doesn't have the emotional intelligence. They didn't have the capacity to really even be a mother, to be honest with you. They should have never been a mother. Like some people get pregnant just because they want their friends get pregnant and they like that's the thing to do. So the children become an extension of them. And so they don't get nurtured. What happens is that parent expects the child to nurture them and nurture them by getting good grades, like being a role model, like being an adult before they're actually allowed to be a child, where, that the children are seen as, like I said, extensions. So they can only be perfect because that parent feels so flawed and feels so defective, and the trauma that it creates from being around a parent that neglects their child. What parent neglects their child and shames their child day in, day out, day in, day out? An abusive one. That's who does it. Again, so when you're being conditioned in an environment with a parent that's a narcissist, because this looks like narcissist sociopath behavior, that a person that gets off on, you know, being nasty, being mean. Hurt people hurt people. So it's like maybe your mother was abused or your father was abused. So the thought of you, the sight of you triggers them because, hey, when you're a child, you're figuring things out. You don't know everything. And if the parent doesn't feel strong within themselves, what happens is that they look at everybody else's kid and look at what everybody else has and begins to judge their life on what their perceptions are, and they get very triggered. And as a way of punishment, the parent doesn't nurture the child, neglects the child, which is a form of psychological trauma. It's again where you're being told every day, you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you don't have enough, there's something wrong with you. So this is where self-sabotaging behaviorisms come from. It's from being shamed over and over and over again, which is why you attracted a person that treated you like this, that they refused to give anything when they had feelings for you, and then expected you to come back to them even though they gave in to temptation. And then when they thought about it, they were like, well, I don't really even want this because, hey, this isn't really the type of relationship that I want. You're going to make me step it up. So even though, yeah, I have feelings for you, I shattered the connection. I can't fix it. I don't know how to fix it. So the person's ego is so big that they're like, I don't even want to come back and deal with it. So that's another thing. You don't even get an apology, which is this person neglected you on all fronts, which was abusive, which was traumatic. So there was a reason why you attracted this person into your life. And unfortunately, they're just on to the next person that's going to give them, and I'll say it's love, but it's not love because love takes time. The moment that you have to give energy to something and you have a problem doing it, if you have love for it, then you have a problem. This person had feelings for you. They just didn't want to do what it took to be in this type of relationship that you wanted, and they played a lot of games and gave into temptation, and they can be with somebody that's of lower hanging fruit that they don't really have to put the effort in and be like, well, I have feelings for someone else. Yeah, because they would have to actually come back and apologize to you and be different, and that's where the problem comes into play. But we have to take those because they fell, um, and we see, okay. When you understand there is no such thing as death, you can drop all fears. So a lot of people like, you know, focus on death and it's especially after like difficult times, right? So if you really thought that you were going to be with this person and and then it didn't work out, it's like it's the death of the relationship, right? When really spirit's saying, well, you don't die. It's like we tend to think about death when things don't, like you said, work out or the opportunities don't come in. Where really Spirit says there is no death. It's just a different level of consciousness, which is actually what you need to do to look at your situation because it's not that you lost this great love. What you lost was nothing because this person like offered nothing. And so it's the same way that you need to look at death, that there is no death. It's a different level of consciousness. We never lose the people that we love. They just go back to source. They become one again with source. They become the collective consciousness, but they're always around us. Do not dim your light for anybody. Again, this person wanted you to do that and understand you were not going to do that. That you at least had your intuition to do that. Allowing people their own path is a powerful way to show incredible unconditional love. So spirit saying it's like you letting this person go. Understand this person wanted you to fight. I wanted you to fight for them. You didn't. They thought because you didn't fight, you were weak. Because you didn't create fireworks, you were weak. That's just because of what they expected and what they thought, and what they're seeing is this is actually strong. That's why this person actually still has feelings for you because you're like, you know what? You don't want to be with me. I let you go. You go do you, boo. You go do you. I don't need to be with you if that's like what you want to do. And these are the things that spirit's saying. And that one more thing is your willingness to learn new things will eliminate the agony of any situation that has passed, right? Or even the resisting of like having to walk away. Maybe you don't want to walk away, but when you focus on new things, you can go with the flow of life. And to go with the flow is obviously to let this person go because they don't really want it. And it's not that they don't want you. They don't want to have to do what it takes to be in a relationship with you. And they, have convinced themselves that they have feelings for somebody else, which I don't really believe that this person has strong feelings for anyone except for themselves. But nevertheless, there's still someone else there that this person is saying, I would rather give energy to. And I would rather give energy because it's easier. I shattered this. This is going to take forever to fix it. You're going to hold me to a certain standard, and they don't want to do that, which is unfortunate. So Spirit says, so the best thing you can do then is to transmute this negative energy because hey, like they did all that and then they're moving on with somebody else. What the hell is that? That will leave a person really angry. Where spirit says they weren't your person. It's like you attracted that person because of the way that you were raised. And a lot of times we can't forgive our parents or whoever put us in that energy of shaming us and not giving and neglecting us, and we can't forgive them until we actually heal the spiritual lesson, until we integrate the spiritual lesson, because that parent was sick. They were spiritually sick, which is, by the way, mentally sick, emotionally sick, because when you're spiritually sick, you are psychologically off. It's like where the ego takes over. Again, the person thinks that their children are an extension of them. That's a pretty, you know, um, scary thing because it means that you're not allowed your own identity. Anytime you express your own identity, it's going to be suppressed, it's going to be oppressed, or it's going to be shamed. And to it's beaten pretty much into you the person that you need to be. And so that's the thing. I believe that you never gave into that. However, you still like were conditioned in an environment to believe that. So that energy is held within your body. So we have to embody a whole new consciousness to get rid of that stagnant, like negative energy. Otherwise, we become a magnet for it. Where spirit's saying, have the courage to act from a place of love instead of fear. Let your heart guide you. So that's not obviously about running out off and having a new relationship. It's about going into uncharted waters to evoke your curiosity, venture in with confidence to find new aspects of life and yourself. And don't worry, divine timing is at play. It's not like you missed anything. What's happening is all, unfolding in accordance to how you need to heal, what you need to heal in order for you to actually be a magnet for abundance and love and that energy, prosperity, any energy that's going to reflect abundance. And Spirit says, like, don't worry, be patient, that the path unfolds like while you're on it. It's not like you missed anything. This being with this person doesn't mean anything. Or like because you didn't entertain it. Understand if you would have entertained this, it would have been completely horrific because this person is on such a low vibration. They would have kept you bound to, shame, neglect, all the things that you grew up with. So, understand it was good. You alchemized the energy. You saw beyond the illusion. Understand all experiences, good and bad, are what shape who you are. And that had to happen so you can ascend life and to let go of who you were, to realize who you are, and that's the thing. We don't know our worth sometimes until someone comes in and they give us nothing. And we're like, wait a minute, or they neglect us. What happens is we begin to see, man, I thought that this person was the same as me, or I thought that this person was going to, I need to fix this, like was going to like be the same as me, when what happens is that what you realize is that this person brings up all your wounds, and your wounds lead you to, having to see what beliefs that you actually have, what you needed to free yourself from. And what you needed to free yourself from was, I am deserving. I don't need to be shamed. I don't need to have to chase you. If you would have shamed this, if you would have ran after this person, that's how you would have shamed yourself, right? Like this person wanted to create the entire dynamic that would have put you back into that energy. When meanwhile, you know, it's because they're not happy where they are. And it's like a person that needs to run around with a lot of different people, again, they're looking for something outside of themselves to fulfill themselves. So it's kind of like the same energy again, where your parent acted like you were an extension of them. That's what this person would have done. I don't treat you as a human being. I don't treat you as if you have feelings, wants, needs. I completely ignore them. I only have you around for what I need you for, what I want. And so again, one-sided connection, same as what you grew up with. So spirit's saying you learn the spiritual lesson. And we end up with one word, like again, spirit says it's all about you right now. Like nobody else. It's just you. So it's actually titled Me, and it says, allow serenity to reign in you. The love that you have for yourself invites harmony to settle within your being. You listen and honor to strive to fulfill the needs of your soul, which was a spiritual lesson that you needed to learn. You needed to learn that, where you were told not to. Like I said, you were the extension, which means when you're an extension of a parent, you have to do and be what that parent wants you to be. And you don't get to actually form your identity. So you grew up that way. And Spirit says, now it's time to evoke your curiosity. Go into uncharted waters. You don't even know who you are. Why would you even be with this person? You did the right thing, how you handled it, but that's why you handled it. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.